What's up, Steelers Nation? Our team is laser-focused on building a roster that can compete for a championship in 2025. Pittsburgh has always been about tradition and winning, and every move this offseason will be crucial in getting this team back to the top. But before we dive into today's big news, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the Steelers. Now let's get into it. While most football fans are getting ready to watch Super Bowl LIX between the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles, the Steelers' front office has a different focus: free agency. The team is scouting potential additions to help Pittsburgh make a Super Bowl run next season. And there's one name in particular that's generating buzz. Eagles defensive tackle Milton Williams could be a major free agent target. He's coming off a breakout season in 2024, just as his rookie contract is set to expire. That means he's about to cash in on a big payday. His numbers show how much of an impact he had on the Eagles' defensive line. 5 sacks, career high, 40 quarterback pressures, 17.7% pass rush win rate per PFF. Philadelphia's deep defensive line helped keep him fresh, but at the same time, it limited his numbers from being even more impressive. So now the big question is, what could he do with a bigger role? Williams isn't the biggest or longest defensive tackle in the league, but he makes up for it with elite explosiveness and refined technique. Quick first step, he attacks gaps at lightning speed. Strong, fast hands. His hand-fighting skills make him a nightmare for blockers. Smart positioning. He knows how to win at the line of scrimmage. The key factor? The Eagles' defensive scheme doesn't fully unleash his skill set. Right now, he plays in a system that prioritizes gap control over attacking the backfield. If the Steelers bring him in, he could play in a more aggressive role as a penetrating 3 technique, which would boost his sack numbers and overall impact. Let's be real. The Steelers need a plan for the future of their defensive line. Cam Hayward is turning 36 years old and won't be able to anchor the unit forever. Larry Ogunjobi hasn't lived up to his contract. Keanu Benton looks like a future star, but he needs a long-term running mate. That's where Williams comes in. Pairing him with Benton could give the Steelers a young, dominant interior duo for years to come. Here's an interesting detail. Steelers assistant GM Andy Weidel was with the Eagles when they drafted Williams in 2021. He knows Williams' talent and potential firsthand. According to SpotTrack, Williams' projected market value is 3 years, $36 million, about $12 million per year. That's a reasonable price for a disruptive pass rusher in today's market. The big question is, will the Eagles let him walk, or will the Steelers make an aggressive move? Let me know in the comments. Should the Steelers go after Milton Williams? Now, let's talk about the biggest decision Pittsburgh has to make this offseason. Who will be the starting quarterback? The Steelers have 2 main options. Russell Wilson, the veteran who exceeded expectations in 2024, Justin Fields, a young QB with elite mobility and untapped potential. But one thing is clear. They won't both be on the roster next season. According to Steelers insider Jerry Dulac, there was tension between Wilson and offensive coordinator Arthur Smith late in the season. The problem? Wilson wanted more freedom to change plays at the line of scrimmage and take deep shots, while Smith insisted on sticking to a run-heavy play-action system. Smith didn't want Wilson changing plays at the line of scrimmage like he did in Cincinnati. Wilson's desire to attack downfield clashed with Smith's run-first mentality. Jerry Dulac, this raises the big question. Can Wilson and Smith coexist? If not, Wilson could be on his way out and Fields could take over as the starter. If the Steelers want to fully commit to Arthur Smith's offense, Fields might be the better option. Elite mobility makes Naji Harris and Jaylen Warren even more dangerous. Strong arm can hit deep shots off play-action, cheaper contract. Allows Pittsburgh to invest in other areas of the roster. Fields still has a lot to prove, but his play style fits Smith's system better than Wilson's does. So what will the Steelers do? If Wilson and Smith can work things out, Wilson could stay. If Fields gets a better offer from another team, the Steelers may have to stick with Wilson. If neither QB is seen as the long-term answer, Pittsburgh could target a new quarterback in free agency or the draft. This decision will shape the team's future in 2025 and beyond. The Steelers have officially declined Naji Harris's fifth-year option, meaning the former first-round pick is set to hit free agency. But does this mean Pittsburgh is ready to move on? Not necessarily. According to Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, there is a strong possibility the Steelers will try to re-sign Harris before free agency officially begins. However, it won't be through the franchise tag. Pittsburgh isn't going that route. So, what does this mean for the Steelers and for Harris? Let's break it all down. The case for keeping Naji Harris first. Let's talk about why Harris might still be part of Pittsburgh's plans. Since joining the Steelers in 2021, Harris has been one of the most consistent running backs in the NFL. His stats prove it. 4 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Never missed a game in his career. Reliable pass protector and short yardage. Runner, while he may not be the most explosive back, Harris has given the Steelers stability in the run game and has been a workhorse since day one. In fact, Harris is the only running back in Steelers history besides Franco Harris to start his career with 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. That's elite company. However, the Steelers' decision not to pick up his fifth-year option suggests they are hesitant to commit long-term. That brings us to the next key factor, the money. What would a new contract for Harris look like? The 2024 offseason was a wild one for running backs, and it set a clear price range for Harris. Here's a look at what some of his peers signed for. James Conner, Cardinals, $8. $3 per year. Ramondre Stevenson, Patriots, $9.5 per year. David Montgomery, Lions, $9 per year. Alvin Kamara, Saints, $12.25 per year. Based on these deals, Harris's market value likely falls somewhere between $8–10 million per year. Would the Steelers be willing to pay that much for a running back when they have Jaylen Warren ready to take on a bigger role? That's the million-dollar question. Could the Steelers simply move on from Harris? There's a real possibility that Pittsburgh lets Harris walk and instead rolls with Jaylen Warren as RB1. The Steelers are already planning to tender Warren as a restricted free agent, which will keep him in Pittsburgh for at least one more season. But how much they're willing to spend on that tender is still unknown. A second-round tender would cost around $5 million. A low-end tender would cost less, but it would mean another team could steal Warren away without compensation. So, if the Steelers do re-sign Harris, they will likely choose the cheaper tender for Warren to save money. But if they don't re-sign Harris, Warren could become the full-time starter, possibly alongside a cheaper free agent running back or a rookie from the 2025 NFL Draft. How the 2025 running back market impacts Naji Harris is set to be one of the biggest names on the running back market, but this year's free agent class is not as deep as last year's. Here's a quick look at the top RBs available. Naji Harris, the most reliable option with proven production. Rico Dowdle, coming off a strong year but with far fewer carries. Aaron Jones, talented but turns 30 this season. J.K. Dobbins. Explosive but has major injury concerns. Nick Chubb, elite when healthy but coming off a serious knee injury. Among this group, Harris may be the safest bet, which could increase his value on the open market. But there's one factor that could hurt him, the 2025 NFL Draft. Scouts are already saying that this year's rookie running back class is much stronger than 2024's. That means teams might prefer to draft a younger, cheaper RB rather than pay big money for a free agent. So, while Harris could get a solid deal, the market might not be as high as some expect. Now that we've broken everything down, here are the big questions. Should the Steelers sign Milton Williams to strengthen the defense? Who should be the starting QB in 2025, Russell Wilson or Justin Fields? Is there another plan the Steelers should consider this offseason? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what Steelers Nation has to say about these crucial decisions. And before you go, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the Steelers. See you in the next video. Until then, go Steelers!